On December 19th or 20th, depending on your time zone, we are going to have our very last new moon in fiery, festive, let's have a party Sagittarius. During this new moon, we will have 7 planets, including 1 asteroid and an astrological point in Sagittarius, which I think qualifies as a party. But the backdrop is that we are approaching such a life-shifting new year for all of us collectively and for many of us personally, that this new moon is preparing us from the inside out, especially on an emotional level, so that we can be ready for this upcoming year of huge change. How is it preparing us? This and more is what I'm excited to share with you in part 1 of this video, along with who will most feel the Sag new moon. What are the planetary conversations going on, and how can you navigate them with the most ease and grace? And as always, I will have tips for you on how to make the most of this new beginnings, new moon. In part 2, I will be doing readings for all 12 signs, letting you know where in your natal astrology chart you will be feeling this new moon. Watch your rising sign for that, but also your sun and moon signs can give you further themes and intuitive messages. And I will be pulling an oracle card for each of the signs as well. Be sure and watch part 1 before you jump to your 12 sign reading so you don't miss some of the most important nuggets of wisdom that this new moon has for you. So I'm excited to share with you everything that you need to know about this new moon in Sag. But first I want to say hello and welcome. If you are brand new to the channel, I'm so glad that you're here. This is a like-minded community. If you are highly sensitive, on a spiritual path, or an ascension journey, you are in the right place. Take a moment right now to subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell as well so you don't miss a video. Welcome back to you lovely people who've been watching. Thank you for subscribing. It makes a huge difference. And if we are just now meeting, I'm Betsy Gutting. I am a psychic astrologer, intuitive life coach, and the author of the book, The Magic of Saying Yes, Answering Your Heart's True Calling. It is always my intention to inspire and empower you through Western tropical astrology. It's also my passion and my dedication to meet you on Zoom for one-on-one astrology consultations. So if you would like some more support, or you want to give yourself an amazing holiday gift, and I do also have gift cards for purchase on my site, stay tuned till the end of this video. I'll tell you more about my offerings, and I have a free gift for you. I also write about the astrology weekly in my weekly inspirational astrology updates. And if you go to my website, subscribe to those for free, you will also get your free gift instant download at the same time. Now, my friend, I wanted to tell you I am in the Pacific Northwest. It is gloomy, gray, wet, and cold here, and I have a fire going. I may show you a little snapshot of that, but if you hear any odd sounds, it's the fireplace. And I hope you are warm and cozy too, wherever you are. So all new moons are the beginning of a new cycle of creation, of manifestation. But a new moon is a dark moon, meaning we can see nothing in the sky, and that pulls our human self into a state of reflection. It can feel like a void, which helps us to recognize what feels missing in our lives. And this is why a new moon is a beautiful time to connect to your heart, look inward, talk to spirit, a trusted loved one or confidant, and ask, what does my heart most want now? Allowing us to set those intentions for this next cycle, or because it's that time of year, it's the end of the year, a lot of you might use this new moon to set intentions for your year of 2026. And this would be a beautiful time to do some sort of ritual or ceremony in which you use the elements of air, water, earth, and especially fire, because Sagittarius is a fire energy, to use these different elements in whatever ritual you decide to do to co-create those heart's desires, bring down that new idea, relationship, project, goal, whatever it is for you, into reality. Now, the timeline for this new moon is 2 weeks from the new moon. We're going to have a full moon in Cancer on January 3rd. So you could have a mini culmination, something coming to fruition, even if it's an insight or the beginning of an idea or some small step that you can take in the direction of what your heart wants. But this new moon won't fully play out until 6 months from now, when we have the full moon in Sagittarius, and that will be at the end of May of 2026. It's important to note that this is one of 7 consecutive new moons that are all happening at 28 degrees, the second to the last degree of a sign. And this means all of these new moons, 7 in a row, are helping us to release and let go of an old chapter, an old self, an old era even. It also means that even though new moons are about new beginnings and fresh starts and intending a new future, even if that future is what's happening 6 months from now, even though that is true, we're also releasing and letting go of energies at the same time. Now, the Sagittarius new moon happening in December, which is a time that many holidays are celebrated, is a time that we want to feel uplifted. Sag is associated with optimism. It's associated with expansion, new horizons, new adventures. It's a time that we are putting up lights, a lot of us. We want more light in our lives. It can be quite dark outside if you live in the Northern Hemisphere. We instinctually want to feel the energy of Sag, which is uplift me, inspire me, show me another way of seeing or believing that the universe has my back and that I can have what my heart truly wants and experience the abundance of this earthly life. Fiery Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is connected to good fortune, to blessings. Yes, it expands whatever it touches, and sometimes that means it amplifies difficult things as well. That can be part of it, but its highest octave is abundance. So it's connected to positive, fortuitous events, things that you can't plan, that, as we say later, that was meant to be. It can feel very magical. The optimism, the faith that Sagittarius teaches all of us gives us the courage to take a risk, gives us the mojo and the drive to expand, to seek new possibilities, to ask, what is my calling? And because Sag is a mutable sign, the mutable signs help us move into a new season. They help us transition through change. So that's happening for a lot of us at this time as well. Sagittarius always reminds us to be flexible, to go with the flow. If we have to change plans, well, then we will. But as my Sag moon mom always used to say, whatever happens, let's just make the best of it. We could be stuck on the freeway out of gas. Yes, that happened multiple times. We could be camping, get completely rained out, be throwing everything drenched and soaked and just feeling like drowned rats. And my mom would still be saying, we're just going to make the best of this. Of course, that was after we got to the hotel. My mom did like comfort. So what I love most about Sagittarius energy and what is open to all of us during Sagittarius season and during this new moon is the contagious enthusiasm, the zest for life. All of our souls came here to grow, to learn, and evolve. And in Sagittarius energy, we take that enthusiasm, we take that drive, we take that fascination or that desire to seek and learn more, discover more about ourselves, and we use it to inspire others at the same time. Now, that is the joy of Sagittarius energy. And yes, Sag loves a good party for sure. But there are also nuances and wrinkles to this new moon energy that I want to share with you after I tell you who will most feel this new moon. Who of you will be most activated by it in your natal astrology chart? It's happening, as I said, at 28 degrees. So those of you who have planets or points between 24 and 29 degrees of Sagittarius or the other mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, or Pisces, you will feel this new moon most intensely. Also, those of you who have planets or points between 0 and 3 degrees of the cardinal signs, Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, and Libra, you will also feel this new moon more intensely. Of course, we will all feel it collectively, and you will feel the themes of it that I share in your 12-sign readings in the house in which you have 28 degrees of Sagittarius in your chart. Okay, so let's talk about the aspects to this new moon. And when I say aspects, I mean the planetary conversations that are going on, how the planets are talking to each other or talking to the new moon as it's going on. This basically tells us the plot to the story and how we can use the new moon energy to pull us forward into a beautiful 2026. So there is truly a party of planets in Sagittarius during this new moon. We've got the sun and moon in Sag, conjunct at the same degree of 28. We have Mars and Venus here. They are bookending the sun and the moon on either side. Mars is a few degrees away in Capricorn, but still making a conjunction to the sun and the moon. And then we also have Mercury in Sag, the asteroid Juno, and a planetary point, the galactic center in Sagittarius. Venus is what we love. It's our preferences. It's what we consciously choose off the menu of life. What lights us up? What brings us joy? And it's connected to money, love, relationships, beauty, pleasure, comforts, fun, festivities. Mars is our drive, our motivation, our desires. And in Capricorn, we're focused on goals, our intentions, our plans. Duties, responsibilities, often work. So this could bring a bit of a sobering quality. We could feel a bit more driven or goal-oriented or have more work or responsibilities or duties we have to take care of. But Mars represents our divine masculine, and Venus represents the divine feminine. And because they are bookending the sun and the moon, which represent what we are seeding for intentions, this new moon could feel quite creative. You could feel very inspired. Also, Juno, the asteroid that is connected with the goddess of marriage and commitment, is also close to the new moon and Venus. So we have strong goddess energy, which could be really lovely for relationships, especially marriage or marriage-like relationships, making this a really good time to deepen your connection with your significant other, to release and let go of the past, to have clear boundaries, to hold one another accountable for showing up fully in the highest octave of love, which I know can be a tall order for us as humans learning and growing in this earthly reality. So all the more reason to have compassion for one another and give each other grace. And because the new moon is conjunct the galactic center represents profound openings, realizations, divine insights. It can even be seen as a portal and moving through this higher octave energy that could be incredibly inspiring and even awakening. So all of these energies congregating together during this new moon tell us that whatever is going on in your life, my friend, you are probably strongly focused on something, because we have all of these energies within us, right? All of these planets and points are in different signs in our different natal astrology charts. But the transiting planets, so many of them are clustered in this one spot, in this one house in your chart, saying, focus here. But that's not all. We also have very strong energies in Pisces, Saturn and Neptune in Pisces making their very last pass in the sign before they move into Aries to stay in 2026. And this is symbolic of the brand new era beginning. So this is significant, this very last pass. And if you haven't watched my videos yet on Saturn back in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces for the very last time, especially if you have strong mutable energies, strong Pisces, strong Virgo, I highly recommend you watch those because they could be quite validating for anything that you've been going through the last several years and possibly going through now. Saturn and Neptune are making what we call a square to the sun and the moon. They're also squaring Venus. They're also making an out of sign square to Mars. So what does this mean? Squares feel like tension. They feel like pressure. They are not the smooth sailing. They are not everything is flowing exactly according to plan like I want it. A square from Saturn can feel like a delay or a slowdown, something not meeting your positive expectations. Some sort of restriction or heaviness or responsibility or extra work that you have to do. A square from Neptune can feel like, wait, this is not the ideal. This is disappointing in some way. Or this simply does not meet my expectations. Past memories or nostalgia could come up for you. One of the best ways to use Neptune energy is to feel all of your feelings, because we have to, as my daughters say, feel all the feels, because we have to release these energies. And remember, it will help us so much if we can remember anything that's emotional that is coming up during this new moon is the old washing away. The old self, the old life, the old chapter. It's not a match for you anymore. That's why it has to go. But sometimes our human self doesn't get that when it's happening, right? We just feel a disappointment. It doesn't feel good. We have to do that releasing. But also we can ask ourselves, how can I feel that Sag upliftment right now? What would inspire me? Maybe it's a really good movie. Maybe it's singing. Maybe it's dancing. Maybe it's going into a deep meditation. Sagittarius rules our beliefs. This could be helping us to clear a belief that is in the way of manifesting what we want. Maybe we don't fully believe in ourselves. Maybe we have some self-doubt. Saturn and Neptune and Pisces are connected to the 12th house, which is associated with karmic relationships. It's associated with past lifetimes and hurt, pain, and losses that often we went through in past lives. It can be childhood stuff that's recreating a past life or lives that we are meant to clear and move forward. So I encourage you, if something does come up for you that's uncomfortable or sad, or, it could be some grief, to move the energy, but not to make meaning out of it, unless it's empowering meaning. Because our emotions, our hurts, defeat, or discouragement, they are not who we are. That's not the truth of who we are, right? They're just feelings, and feelings come and go. But this is a great new moon for any kind of forgiveness work, forgiving another, forgiving yourself, to think of it as literally or metaphorically an old self, an old soul essence of you, an old part of your conditioning is dissolving. That's Neptune, dissolving. It's dissolving, releasing, leaving, because it's not a match for who you are now, having come so far in your soul's evolution. So this is a time to let go of anything that has felt heavy, anything outdated, expired, that doesn't light you up, hurts, grievances. Don't forget to forgive yourself too, so that we can travel more lightly into 2026 with as little extra baggage as possible. And the truth is that squares motivate us. They motivate us. They get us into action. They get us moving. Pisces is also connected to the divine love. The healing waters. Pisces represents the ocean. So time spent in water, even if it's a bath, could feel amazing. But I highly encourage you to connect to your spiritual source. You can do that through my free guided meditation that you can download from my website. You can do that through any of the tools that I share in my book for partnering with your soul. This is a partner with your soul new moon. Use divine love in whatever way you choose, my friend. Any of the tools that you have in your toolbox, use those to deepen your connection with your higher self, with your guides, with spirit. And you can ask spirit, help me to love myself more. Help me to be radically compassionate with myself. Help me to let go or shed anything heavy. Help me get into the vortex to envision, feel, sense the new reality that I want to co-create. And finally, we also want to look to the ruler of the new moon, which is Jupiter. Jupiter is retrograde in Cancer, so a fellow water sign to Pisces, and it is making a beautiful trine to Saturn in Pisces. Jupiter in Cancer is focused on family, on warmth, on togetherness. With Jupiter here, we want to feel emotionally supported. The trine to Saturn and Pisces says, I will help you. Saturn says, I will help you create a solid, sustainable foundation, a solid support system so that you do feel emotionally secure. And a lot of people with strong Cancer energy in their chart, and you don't have to have strong Cancer to feel this Jupiter in Cancer, for sure. It's activating all of our charts to a certain degree. It's in the collective. But what anybody with strong Cancer would tell you is that it's not always reciprocated, that Cancer love, because it's big. It comes from a big heart. It comes from a strong desire to nurture and be emotionally present with others. And I bring this up because Jupiter in Cancer trining Saturn and Pisces can also be support for setting clear boundaries, support for realizing who doesn't reciprocate to the degree that you give. But, and here's the magic of this connection, this Jupiter-Saturn trine, the magic is we can open up to the universe to let that love, that devotion that Jupiter wants to bring us, we can receive that through any channel. So another call to connect into Jupiter, connect to your higher source and say, I'm open and willing to receive. I want to expand my ability to receive abundance, an abundance of love, an abundance of all the things that make me feel more secure. And one more thing that we don't want to forget, and that is just after this new moon peaks, we're going to have the annual solstice. It's the winter solstice if you are in the northern hemisphere, and the summer solstice if you're in the southern hemisphere. But I always connect the solstice to a new beginning, a fresh turn of energy, almost like the soil is being turned over when you're about to plant a new garden. The season of light, the season of magic, and the solstice is its own portal. So along with the new moon conjuncting the galactic center, a portal, very close to the solstice, a portal, and all of these planets in Sag at the same time, this could be quite a magical, inspirational, divinely uplifting new moon for you, my friend. We can't go back to who we used to be. The past is in the past. The old self has already dissolved. The old life for many of us is gone. It's over. It's done. And a new adventure is calling. So whatever happens for you, my friend, during this new moon, remember the story isn't over until it's over. One of my all-time favorite quotes is from Sunny in the movie The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. Highly recommend this movie if you haven't seen it yet. It takes place in India. Sunny is a young, vibrant, visionary innkeeper. He has a vision to create this hotel, this place where retirees can come and live out the end of their life with companionship from one another in the beauty of India. However, he is struggling to renovate this old but, very beautiful building. But it is, things are not working. It's broken down quite a bit. And he wants to revive it. He wants to make it into the place that he portrays in the brochure. But all of these retirees from all over different places, they see the brochure. It's gorgeous in the brochure. They come to the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel and they are so disappointed. They are so frustrated. A lot of stuff isn't right or working, or it's dirty. It's not what it looks like yet in the brochure. And this is the quote that I love so much. Sunny, with his full enthusiasm and very sincerely devoted to turning the building into the paradise that he has promised, he says, "Everything will be all right in the end. If it is not yet all right, it is not yet the end." Okay, my beautiful friends, let us do your 12 sign readings now. Listen to your rising sign. This corresponds to the area of your natal astrology chart and your life in which you will likely feel the themes of this new moon, but also listen to your sun and moon signs because they will give you further themes and intuitive messages, including messages from the cards that will very likely be relevant for you as well. We're going to start with beautiful Sagittarius because Sag, this is your new moon. There's a party in the house of you, and happy birthday to those of you who have birthdays around this time. What does it mean to have a new moon in your first house? The house of your identity, the roles that you play, the titles that you have. It is also your vitality. It's also what is important to you at this time of your life. Because that's what we connect to identity. I mean, sometimes if somebody asks you, what do you identify with? You may say your job title. You may say the role you play in a relationship. But you could also say, well, this is what I love, or this is what makes my spirit happy. This is what makes my heart sing. And that's really what this new moon wants to call your attention to, wants you to reflect on, is what will make my heart light up? What am I ready for next? What is calling to me now? These are the really the most important questions during a new moon in your first house. But also keep in mind that because it's your first house, and I know I talk to you guys a lot about this in my videos, it's an angle of your chart, and the angles talk to all the other angles, including your career point, your relationship point, and your home and family point. So this really is about you and all the things and areas of your life that are most important to you, Sag. So it's a new beginning. It's a new manifestational cycle. It's a time of reflection. It's a time to feel the feelings that are coming up, especially with the square from Saturn and Neptune to this new moon that I break down for you in part one of this video. So be sure and watch that if you haven't already. I give you tips and do my best to inspire you as well. Many of you, because we're close to the new year, during this new moon, many of you are looking toward that time and saying, well, what's important to me for this new year? What do I want to shed? What do I want to release? What do I want to step into? Yes, it's the full moons that we tend to do more shedding and releasing, but because of the square, from Saturn and Neptune. And it's at 28 degrees, which is close to the end of the degrees. We're also doing some release at the same time, which humans typically do not want to do, right? We're like, I get comments like this all the time where people are saying, what, I have to shed and release more? I'm so tired of that. Yeah, I know. It's a human thing to not want to do that inner emotional release, but don't you feel so much lighter after it? I do. I welcome a good cry. Now, I have double Cancer energy, water, so maybe, the water signs are more amenable to that, but we can release in a lot of different ways, right? Sag, we can dance it out, scream it out if we feel like we have the privacy to do that. We can move the energy, movement, sound, and tears are all really good ways of moving the energy. You might want to do some sort of glow up, or as we said during my time, a makeover. Something that will be really revitalizing for you. Get a massage. Something that, especially if you're really busy, a lot of us are very busy during the holiday times. We have more things to do on our list, especially if that's you. And I know that's not all of you. Some of you don't participate in that. I understand that. But you might want to think about, how can you take care of you during this new moon, Sag? So leave me a comment if you'd like to. Let me know what's happening for you, what's stirring in your heart and mind. It's a very important new moon. And again, so many energies in it, so many planets. I go through all the planets, but also this new moon is conjunct the galactic center. And that's very expansive energy, Sag. Conjunct Juno, the goddess Juno, strong goddess energy during this new moon. If any of you are in partnership or you want to be in partnership, you want a significant other, then tuning into Juno as the goddess could also be very helpful during this new moon. So let us see what the cards have to say for you. Thank you for taking a moment to like this video. I do love your comments. I so appreciate it when you subscribe. It makes a huge difference. And let's see what the cards have to say for you, Sag. Sag, and you inspired me to light a fire, which I'm going to do a little glimpse of that fire and put it in the video so you guys see. But you inspired me, so thank you. Your fire. Sag, your card is reflect and redirect your energy. Okay, this is a card for those of you who have felt like you've been in an impasse. If you have felt blocked at all, if you have felt like something is in your way, what I love about this card is it's saying there are other ways around it. And here we have, it's a squirrel, and it can just scramble up the wall and go to the other side. It can do exactly what it needs to do. There really is no impasse, is what this card is saying. There is no impasse. It's just a matter of redirecting. So Sag, have you ever just had such a conundrum or something that just felt like there's no way around this, or there are no good options? That's what squares can feel like. But then you decided to take a run, or you decided to take a shower, or you decided to do something that's just, stop thinking about it for a while. And that's when the idea, the new possibility, the workaround came to you. That's what this card is saying. Shift your energy, go do something else, come back to it, and the impasse will have dissolved. Beautiful, Sag. If you want to leave me a comment, I love hearing from you. Happy new moon. Scorpio. Hello, beautiful Scorpio. Scorpio, the new moon in Sag for you is happening in your second house of earned income. This is the house of material security. So it includes your income, but it also includes any way that makes you feel more secure. So it could be your possessions. It could be, at the root of all feeling secure is our inner security, right? Self-love, deserving, knowing that we are abundant beings, knowing that we are sourced in divine abundance, that we can receive from all channels. And that was a big message that I got when I was preparing for this new moon. A big message was to open up to all channels. That is the conjunction of the new moon to the galactic center. It's reminding us, and for a lot of us, we are on a journey of learning to receive more. Learning that if it's not coming from this source or that source, which sometimes can feel frustrated, especially if we've given a lot to this or that source, right? And we haven't gotten it back. This is saying, let all that go. Drop your expectations. Drop your holding on to the way things should be and open up to receiving from any channel that the universe, that the divine wants to use, or that your higher self or your soul wants to employ, Scorpio. But a new moon here is a new beginning. It's a fresh start. It's a new manifestational cycle. So you are likely thinking about during a new moon in your second house is like the sun and the moon are together. And it's not just the moon. We've got Venus here. We've got Mars here, which is really positive. Generally, when Venus is transiting your second house, it's really positive for money. And Mars too, because then you have the mojo and the drive to take steps in action, go after something. But you may want to, Scorpio, get a promotion, level up, get another stream of income, move your home, sell possessions. Some of you could be downsizing. Some of you could be really thinking about how can I streamline my finances. So a lot of different ways this can play out, but the ultimate goal is for you to feel abundant and secure and fully provided for. Okay, so Scorpio, let us pull a card for you now and see what the cards have to say. And thank you so much for liking this video. Thank you for commenting. I love your comments, and for subscribing if you haven't already. You make a huge difference in my life, Scorpio. I'm grateful for you. And now your card. Your card is tread thoughtfully. Have you felt like you've been on a narrow pathway? Have you felt like there haven't been so many options, or more options than you would have liked? What I love about this card is this very ethereal looking bridge that's like floating above these rock formations. And it's interesting because I feel like this message is similar to what I got from Sag, which is that there is another way. And that as long as you are thoughtful and you're treading thoughtfully and mindfully and consciously, you're focused on what you want. And Scorpio, you are one of the signs that can focus better than other signs can. You tend to be very focused. This is saying as long as you are very awake and aware and open and you're thoughtful about the steps that you take, you can tap into this higher octave of a higher consciousness. There are 2 portals going on during this new moon that I talk about during the first part of this video. So portals are openings to a new timeline, a higher consciousness, a higher frequency, all different ways of saying the same thing that you can tap into. And notice what you sense and feel when you look at this bridge here. It could feel that you have, like I said, not had a lot of options, or that it's been tight in some way, and squares can make us feel that way. And we've got a square going on, as I said during part 1 of this video. We've got the square from Saturn and Neptune to the sun and the moon. But there's a lot of light in this card. There's a lot of sunlight. It feels like a new day. Once you rise above the clouds and you tap into a higher frequency, it will be easier for you, beautiful Scorpio. So whatever comes up for you in this card, if you want to share it or anything else you want to share in the comments, I would love to hear. Libra. Hello, beautiful Libra. Libra, the new moon in Sagittarius is happening for you, and this is a new beginning, a fresh start, the beginning of a new cycle, something that your heart wants to manifest. Lots of energy in Sagittarius, as I speak about in part 1 of this video. There's a party in Sag, and this party is happening for you in your 3rd house, which is already the house of moving and shaking. The 3rd house is where we do our errands. We talk to people in our local environment. We are out and about. It is also connected to relationships with siblings, aunts, uncles, and cousins, neighbors, landlords, the people that we interact with if we go to the gym, or we go to a sport event, or we go to a concert, or we go to a holiday party. That's all 3rd house stuff. But it's also, if you're a freelancer, it's your freelance work, any transactions that you're making, buying and selling. If you have a website, your devices, short trips, it's the house of moving about. And it's Mercury ruled. So it's our growth and our learning, our writing, our emailing, also our inner narrative. So Libra, a new moon here probably has you out doing a lot of either holiday related if you celebrate any of the holidays or things, or maybe you are working on a website, maybe you are healing a relationship with a sibling or a family member, maybe you are having an important rejuvenation of a local contact. There's so many different ways that this could play out. It will be different for all of you. Of course, I can tell you more in your own chart, what I see in your own chart during an astrology consultation. But for this new moon and our conversation right now, I want you to know that this is an important new moon because it's preparing us for 2026. It's the last new moon of 2025. And it is asking you, Libra, to be very mindful of your inner conversation. We all have a conversation that goes on in our mind. Is it supportive? Is it loving? Is it one that makes you feel uplifted? Because even though we have the square from Saturn and Neptune and Pisces during this new moon, helping us release the past, which is very, very important, helping us release sadness, upset, grievances, any negative energy we're meant to release. Even though that's going on, we're also meant to tap into the divine for comfort, for love, for support. So it could be a very transcendent new moon. And let us see what the cards have to say for you. All the most important details that you need to know about this new moon that are for everyone are in part 1 of this video. So let's see what your card is. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you for commenting if you choose to. And let's see what your card is. Transformation. A fresh new way of living emerges. What a gorgeous card. You are soaring into the light in this card. You are this looks like an eagle to me, but it could be the phoenix rising from the ashes. Maybe it is the phoenix. You guys always tell me in the comments, which I love. I'm happy to hear what you think. Love hearing what you think, actually. A fresh new way of living emerges. What is that new way? That's the key, because it's us that's doing the co-creating, right? Libra, what is the new way of living? What would make you feel like you are soaring in the sky? Leave me a comment. I would love to know. Claim it, and so shall it be. Virgo. Hello, beautiful Virgo. Virgo. This is a new moon, especially if you have planets or points in the high degrees of your sign, that you will most likely feel it more intensely. And that's because of the square from Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, which is opposite you. And so you will probably feel this if you do have planets or points in those higher degrees. You will probably feel this new moon through a relationship, because that's what we tend to feel in an opposition kind of aspect. But it is a brand new manifestational cycle, and it is one that's meant to uplift you and inspire you, just like everybody else gets to experience from Sagittarius energy. It's the fire, fun-loving, let's celebrate, let's enjoy ourselves energy, right? So I really encourage you to give yourself that during this new moon, even if something frustrating or disappointing comes up. Now, the truth is that we've had this Saturn and Neptune transit going on for quite a long time, and it hasn't moved that many degrees. So it's possible that you're just integrating whatever you've learned during this very long Neptune and Pisces time, or because at these degrees, it would probably be something that you've experienced in the last year or two. You could be integrating it. You could be, you could have feelings come up during this time. You could have nostalgia come up. You could have moments of remembering whatever it is that maybe you have grieved, that you've lost in your life, that hasn't come to fruition, something that you wanted before. By now, you may feel like, I don't want that anymore. You may have already, transformed intensely in a beautiful way through this energy. And so you're just feeling the upliftment. That could be it too. But where are you feeling this? In your 4th house of home, family, childhood conditioning, roots, and belonging. This house is connected to your actual home, creating a sanctuary in your home, feeling like it is a place that you can rest and relax, and that it is your place of, you can have your private moments and feel comforted and all those things that we want from a home. So when we have a new moon here, we're usually thinking about home. If we're not thinking about our actual home in terms of, do I want to move? Do I want to stay here? How do I want to make my house feel more homey? If we're not thinking about that, or we're not cleaning, or we're not beautifying, a lot of times when I have a new moon, or any moon, honestly, any moon transiting my fourth house, because I have my North Node in Virgo in my fourth house, I almost always during a new moon in my fourth house, I want to beautify, I want to clean, I want to, I want to do the Virgo cleaning organizing thing. But of course you're Virgo, and this moon is in Sag, so that was just an example. But it's happening in your fourth house, which is why I brought it up. So you could just want to make your home feel good, or you could be doing some cleansing or clearing on a relationship with a family member. You could be doing ancestral healing work. You could be doing something, some emotional clearing around your relationship with your mother. Or you could have new ideas around your home. You might say, I think I might want to get a roommate, or I think I might want to talk to somebody I live with. And if I don't think it's working out, maybe, if you've had a roommate, maybe I don't want to continue with that. Or maybe you want to have a discussion, like a family meeting, that kind of thing. Or you could just be celebrating. Maybe you've just moved into a new home, or you're making plans to build a home. Obviously, this can play out in a lot of different ways, but those are the themes. And remember, the root of this is roots and belonging. I want to feel like I belong here, and that I feel rooted here. And this is a good, solid base for my own sense of security. So Virgo, let's see what the cards have to say. Thank you for taking a moment to tap like that, for also commenting, and for subscribing. It makes a huge difference. Let's see what the cards have to say. Virgo, happy holidays to those of you who celebrate. There are so many holidays that go on in this time of light, the season of light. So I wish you a beautiful holiday. And you got one of my favorite cards in this deck, the Mystic Healer. Healing energy flows through you. Have you claimed, do you see yourself as a mystic? Have you claimed yourself as a mystic healer, whether you do this professionally or not? Maybe some of you want to, if you don't already. Maybe some of you do, or maybe some of you just say, I know I'm a healer inside and out. Doesn't mean that you necessarily want to be in a healing profession, but I love the image of this angelic being all dressed in white and just being in that blissful state. And maybe this will take you, because Sag is such a seeking energy. It is the quest. It is the metaphysical quest and journey. And the galactic center is here, and the new moon's conjunct the galactic center. That is its own portal of discovery, expansion. If you want to claim yourself as the mystic healer, in the comments below. Beautiful Virgo, we would all love to hear. Leo. Hello, beautiful Leo. Leo, the new moon in Sag is happening for you in your fifth house. And the fifth house is connected to love and romance, children, creativity, your own inner child delight, your sacred inner muse, and basically fun, pleasure, and anything that brings you joy. Joy for joy's sake. Just do, like, creating art, art projects, or beautifying, writing, whatever creative art. You don't have to be an artist. You don't even have to see yourself as creative. Whatever you do that lifts your vibration, that makes your heart sing. That's what this new moon is asking you. What is that for you? What do you want to do more of? Maybe you feel like you're not good at art, but maybe you would enjoy getting one of those adult coloring books that have all those gorgeous images, and buying crayons or pastels or colored markers or watercolors and playing with them. There's so many different ways we can create art without being quote unquote good at art. And a lot of us, we had an inner child that was, as a child, we were discouraged. We, were told we weren't good at art. It's reminding me of an art class that I took in, I think it was ninth grade. It was high school. And my best friend was an amazing artist. Her mother was a professional artist. She was constantly being taught by her mother, and she was fabulous. I mean, even without the mom's influence, she probably came into this life with wonderful artistic talent. But sitting next to her in art class, whatever we would do, the teacher would walk by and compliment her and then not say anything about any of the rest of us sitting by her, right? And walk on. So, of course, what do we take from that? It's like, okay, she's really good at art and I'm not. Some of you could have had a similar experience, and I love doing art. I'm not accomplished at painting or drawing or any of these things, but I love doing it, and I've had to give myself that permission. So maybe that's a message that some of you needed to hear. During a new moon in your fifth house, it can be wonderful for setting intentions for bringing love into your life. It can be wonderful for just bringing more lightness and joy to your life. It can also be great for anything to do with children or parenting. This new moon does get some tense energy from the Saturn, Neptune, Pisces energy squaring it. So if you want to know about that and how you can move through those energies, watch part 1 of this video. And Leo, of course, all the moons for you, because of how the energies are set up, and this is so cool for you, they're all set up to match the energy of the house, right? So here you are connected to the heart, and that is the fifth house. And I love a fifth house new moon. I love a fifth house full moon. I mean, who doesn't love anything related to the fifth house? It's all the wonderful reasons that we came to this planet Earth, I believe, aside from the fact that our souls wanted to grow and evolve, our human selves, the fifth house is like the playground for our human self. So thank you for taking a moment before I pull a card to tap like. Thank you for leaving me a comment. Thank you for subscribing to my channel so that it can continue to grow, and it makes a huge difference in my life. I'm so grateful for you, and let's see what the cards have to say for you, Leo. Leo, infinite abundance. Abundance is pouring into your life. What a beautiful card. It really matches the fifth house energy of joy and delight. And what I love about this card is that many people are involved here. If you want to be in community, if you want new friends, if you want to know that you are not doing it all yourself, they're gathering together. They're catching the apples from the tree. All you have to do is catch the abundance that's waiting for you, Leo, and maybe it will be that much sweeter when done with one or more people in community to let you know that you are fully supported, and that with others, with like-minded others especially, you can have a really good time. Cancer. Hello, beautiful Cancer. Cancer, I have my moon and rising in Cancer, so we are all part of the same Cancer family. And the new moon in Sagittarius is a new beginning, a new manifestational cycle, the time we plant those seeds of intentions, and it's happening for you in your sixth house. So what does this mean? As I speak about in part 1 of this video, there is a party of energies, planets, a point, and an asteroid all in that sixth house. Now, one of those planets, Mars, is in Capricorn. It's true, it's a few degrees away, but it is still conjunct the new moon, and the rest of them are in Sag. And what does this mean? It means there's a lot of energy happening in your sixth house. This means that you could really feel lit up in your life, or busy, or occupied, or just a lot going on in matters of your daily work, your schedule, your routines, or your health. You know, you could be very diligent right now, or fired up, or intent on working out, you know, doing positive things for your body. You could be cooking more, some of you. You could be thinking about nutrition. You could be healing from something. You could be getting treated for something. You could be planting seeds for a goal around lifestyle, how you want to shift your lifestyle perhaps. And this can also involve a pet too, because pets fall in the sixth house as well. So really this is the house of lifestyle. We are meant to be looking at during this new moon, as it is preparing us for 2026. I speak more about this in part 1 of this video. We are meant to be using this new moon, I believe, this new moon energy, to get a sense of what's working for us and what isn't. What do we want to leave behind as we move into 2026? And for you, Cancer, I would say, what changes would you want to see happen in your lifestyle? So you could think of this as you know, the next 2 weeks. It will play out over the next 6 months. You can think about it as your intentions for the whole next year, because it is going to be a year of huge change, and the cardinal signs are going to feel it, especially if you have early degree placements in your sign or the other cardinal signs. But also Saturn will move through more degrees, Saturn in Aries, and I'm talking about the Saturn Neptune conjunction in Aries. So I will do a separate video on that, but just know Cancer as a cardinal sign and Aries being a cardinal sign, you are going to be one of the ones, if you haven't already, to probably feel the shift, these big shifts of next year more intensely. So Cancer, let us see what the cards have to say for you. And of course, I can illuminate that for you in an astrology consultation as well. And I am doing year ahead readings now, just for those of you who may be interested in that. And oh yeah, before I pull a card, thank you for tapping like. Thank you for subscribing if you're not subscribed already. And if you want to leave me a comment, I love reading your comments. I read them all. I just don't always have a chance to get back to you about them, but I do my best to like the comments, but I do read them all as they come in. Okay, Cancer. Your card is the Gates of Triumph. It is time for you to experience a victory, Cancer. Success is expanding in your life. I love, love, love this. One of my favorite cards in the deck, because it shows the charred trees. It shows that you've been through a lot of hard things and you're moving in through a portal into the light. You're moving into greener pastures. You're moving onto this. It's a new direction for a lot of you. But if it's not a new direction, practically speaking, you are moving out of the darkness into the light. Success is expanding in your life. It is a portal. There's strong portal energies in this new moon configuration, which I speak about at length in part 1 of this video. So go watch that if you haven't already and you're curious. But beautiful Cancer, if you want to claim your Gates of Triumph, your success in the comments, let us know. I would love to hear. Gemini. Hello, beautiful Gemini. Gemini, you are part of my Gemini family. I have my natal sun in Gemini. And this is going to be an important new moon for you because it is opposite you on the zodiac wheel, Sagittarius. And that means that this new moon is happening in your 7th house of partnerships. And with a 7th house partnership new moon, this is a new beginning, a new manifestational cycle for you. So for some of you who are already in partnership, and of course we can be in partnership with a significant other, with a spouse, with someone important to us. You know, you could have a roommate living with you and that can feel like a partnership. You could have a best friend at work. It's really the people that we're spending the most time with when we have a new moon like this, somebody that we would say, this person is significant in my life right now. Maybe it's someone who supports you and who you support. Maybe they are in some way an anchor in your life. So this is where the moving and shaking, the exploration, perhaps the processing of feelings, perhaps, is going to be happening in this arena of relationships, close relationships. We just had the full moon in your sign, Gemini. It's actually the full moon in your sign today when I'm filming this video, and I'm definitely feeling it, but I felt it. I'm curious about this. It's a little bit off topic, but it's not, because one moon moves into the next moon and they're all part of the same soup. But I really felt the Gemini full moon the weekend before, and that is because we had a Pisces moon the weekend before that squared our Gemini energy. So you could have felt that too. Several days before the actual new moon, you could have felt had emotional stuff that came up for you to clear or move, fears around something that was coming, you know, in your future, for example, or anything else that came up for you. So that full moon in Gemini, in its own way, it prepared you for the new moon, because whatever you may have cleared emotionally or whatever you may have gone through during that full moon, it strengthened you, and it was part of the preparation that we're all doing for 2026. So think of the new moon in Sag as a continuation, because they are across from each other on the zodiac wheel, and Sag is across from you. So it's all very connected. And this new moon is a time to set those intentions for what your heart most wants in the arena of support, relationship, commitments, agreements with other people. Could involve leaving some of that behind. It could involve setting boundaries, holding a partner accountable, your partner holding you accountable. You get the idea. When I say your partner, again, it can be any significant relationship. So I want to pull a card for you, Gemini. Thank you for taking a moment to like this video. Thank you for subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. It makes a huge difference. I really appreciate it. And if you want to leave me a comment, I love reading your comments as well. Gemini. Beautiful gems. I hope that you are enjoying the holidays. I hope that you are, whether you celebrate them or not, I hope that you are giving yourself a chance to do things that you love doing. That I have talked with a number of Geminis lately in client readings, and we always laugh and joke about how versatile we are and how many different interests we have. And so Geminis really need to feed their lust for life and their talent for being good at a lot of different things, because you are Gemini. So I hope that you're letting yourself have some fun and play with what you love to do. Okay. Gemini, for the Sag new moon, your card is cleansing waters. This card is showing relaxation and purification. It says purification activates your vibrant life force. Resting, floating in water. This is a great new moon to be in water because of the square from Saturn and Neptune and Pisces. Cleansing waters. This is the perfect card for a moon that opposes your energy, Gemini, but also the Saturn and Neptune squaring your energy. Cleansing waters, cleansing, releasing, letting leave what wants to leave, letting yourself be purified, so that you have the vitality, the energy, the vibrant life force to follow your beautiful heart, dear Gemini. Taurus. Hello, beautiful Taurus. Taurus, you're going to experience the new moon in Sag, which represents a new beginning, a fresh start, a new manifestational cycle, planting seeds of intention for what your heart most wants. This is happening for you in your 8th house of power and control, emotional attachments, shared resources, time, money, and energy, intimacy, sexual and emotional intimacy. This is the house of the things that we want to hold on to. You know, it includes investments. It includes our long-term financial plans. It includes our real estate. If we own a home, for example, it includes the things that make us feel more secure. And then where we can have like opportunities, let's say, to set boundaries with people around how are we sharing our energy? How are we sharing the things that we own? How are we sharing, you know, maybe you own a house with someone, maybe you are in some sort of partnership. It could be a business partner too. Often clients fall in the 8th house. So, you know, you could, and the 8th house is connected to wealth, whatever wealth means for you. So Taurus, this new moon is saying, what will make you feel more long-term secure? And are there any uncomfortable issues going on with anyone else that need resolving? Or do you want to, you know, get a business partner? Do you want to take a relationship that you're already committed to the next level? For example, maybe you are, you know, you have a committed relationship with someone, but you don't live together yet, but moving in together would put that relationship, sharing resources, time, money, and energy in a more intense way in this house. Or maybe you are dating somebody and now you want to, you know, take that relationship to the next level. You want to have sexual intimacy with somebody, and that would put that here in the 8th house as well. You could be dreaming of paying off some sort of a debt. You could be looking for alternative financing for a home. Any of these things. It's a financial and a relationship house. And it's where we want to feel like the power is equal to the extent. You know, we tend to share power in different ways and can feel equal at times and not at other times. But the idea is that there is respect, there's mutuality, there is a mutual care for one another, and everything feels in integrity. Integrity is a really important word for the 8th house. So, Taurus, What do you want? What does your heart want? What would light you up in any of these areas that I just discussed? This is the time to reflect on that and to seed intentions for that. And I'm going to pull a card for you as well, as I always do. If you will take a moment to tap like on this video, to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, it makes a huge difference. I'm really grateful for that. And let us see what the cards have to say for you and your new moon in Sagittarius. Taurus. You get reaching your destination, Taurus. Your light is shining brightly. What a beautiful affirmation of your energy, your efforts, your spiritual work, some of you. What a great affirmation. I love this so much. I love all the bubbly orb looking shapes. I love that there's the butterfly here representing transformation. There is, it almost looks like an eclipse, a solar eclipse going around this castle and the pathway to this energy. It's a very galactic card, and this moon does make a conjunction to the galactic center. There are two different portals that I discuss in part 1 that are connected to this new moon. So this card really matches that sense of going through a portal, going into a higher consciousness, shifting timelines, taking your vibrational frequency to a higher level so that you can experience a dream or a heart's desire, so that you can reach your destination. If you want to claim that you have reached your destination or are reaching a dream, manifesting a dream, beautiful Taurus, in the comments below, let us know. You will inspire all of us. Aries, hello, beautiful Aries. Aries, you are going to experience the new moon in Sag, which makes a trine to your energy. It's really lovely. Sag fire to your fire, and vice versa, of course. The trines are the best aspect that we can have. So this is very complimentary and supportive of you in your in the Aries energy of your chart, at least. It's happening for you in the 9th house of expansion. So expansion, who doesn't love expansion? What do I mean by expansion? It means that you are taking your consciousness to the next level. It means that you're having a new adventure, a new horizon is opening up for you. You could be doing long distance travel. You could be planning to go to another country. You could be planning a trip. You could be publishing something, publishing, broadcasting, podcasting, creating videos, teaching, anything in which you are sharing a message with another through another person, with another person, through the written word, through the spoken word, through some sort of program like a certification program, or you could be wanting to get a degree or wanting to get some sort of certification. Any of those things fall within this house. It's also the house of our spiritual beliefs. So, you could feel like you're really seeking, or there's something that you are seeking. You could be seeking knowledge. You could be seeking an adventure. You could be seeking freedom during this new moon. Aries, what is it that your heart wants? Really great time for you to say yes to whatever your heart wants. It's the 9th house. It's like the universe saying, here is a blessing. Here's an opportunity. Here's a way to really delight your soul, to listen to the sparks of your soul and say yes to the voice of your soul, your heart. Aries, so let us see what the cards have to say. Thank you for taking a moment to like this video, to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It would make a huge difference. It really helps me. And I love reading your comments too, if you care to comment. Aries, I've been shuffling. Let's see what the cards have for you. Aries, I'm getting the message to slow down, calm down, which is not very Aries, right? I have my Mars in Aries, believe me. Often I feel like I'm behind, or, I should have done something hours ago or whatever. There's an inner energy in me that's like always go, go, go. So it's good for those of us with strong Aries to take a breath, slow down. And what is the truth, right? There is no urgency. There is no emergency. Maybe someone needed to hear that. And your card is Voyage of the Heart. Love flows through you and to you. I love the image of this card. It is one of the most beautiful images of this deck. You are on a voyage of the heart. Everything is happening as it's meant to happen. It may not always appear that way because the heart speaks its own language, and it's not often the same language as the mind, right? And the mind, the intellect, can be a bad neighborhood. But she's holding treasures and beauty in her hands, and what she's holding is the energy of transformation. And this is showing us with all the purple around her the image of her face, that's higher octave energy. And then the blue around her throat chakra, and then the yellow is like awakening to your power. And I think this card is saying the power is in your hands, the power is in your creativity, the power is in your connection to the divine. This is a voyage of the heart, and we so often forget that. Love flows through you and to you. Unconditional love from the divine. The divine is calling you to tap into it, beautiful Aries, if you haven't done that recently. Happy new moon in Sag. Pisces. Hello, beautiful Pisces. Pisces, the new moon in Sag for you is happening in your 10th house of career, legacy, life purpose expressed, semi-retirement, retirement, how we want to share our whatever lights us up, whatever's important to you, whatever feels like your purpose. And I know that can be a loaded term, purpose, loaded word. We can feel like, I don't know my purpose. What is purpose anyway? Or I'm not living my purpose, but I don't know what it is. So those things could come up for you too. But it is a time that we're meant to reflect. And what if your purpose is just being you? What if your purpose is self-discovery? What if your purpose is learning what you're passionate about and what lights you up and saying yes to it? Pisces, you are an artist, you are multifaceted, you are a dual sign, like my sun sign Gemini, we're both dual signs. And that means that we have one foot in the ethereal realms and one foot in the earthly realm. And Pisces, you are one of the most psychic signs. You are one of the most connected to divine energy, which really helps you if you are at all foggy about anything that you want. And Saturn and Neptune in your sign are squaring this new moon, and it can be a little bit of a bumpy emotional ride for some people if you have planets or points in the high degrees of your sign. But it's all meant to clear, and I speak at more length about that in part one of this video and give you tips and encouragement and all of that if you're feeling that during this new moon. So Pisces, you could be releasing a career, or you could have done that over the past year. You could be releasing an old identity. You could be identifying more with another aspect of your expression or energy than you did before, especially if you let go of a title, if a relationship ended for you. You could be connecting to past losses or pain or grief, meant to move that energy through you so that you can clear it, so that we can travel more lightly into 2026. Forgiveness, self-compassion, radical self-love. These are all beautiful things to give yourself during this new moon. Pisces, let me shuffle for you, and let's see what the cards have to say for you. If you would take a moment to tap like on this video, if you would subscribe if you haven't already, welcome to the community. I love having you here, and let us see what the cards have to say for you. Pisces. Embracing enthusiasm. Very sad, that word enthusiasm. Shout to the heavens with happiness. Wow, Pisces, wow. What I love about this card is that her words are transformational. The butterflies that are streaming from the energy that's coming out of her mouth, that symbolizes transformation, that symbolizes beauty, that symbolizes the fact that you have come a long way, Pisces. You have. We are ending the era of Neptune and Pisces. I was about to get bossy and say, celebrate that, Pisces, but I encourage you to. I encourage you to, because I encourage all of us to, including myself, for all of us to celebrate that we have moved through the era of Neptune and Pisces since 2011, and that has been clearing a lot of past life stuff, karmic stuff, a whole chapter or more for many of us that we're meant to release. And some of that could happen during this new moon so that we can move on into a brand new chapter, embracing the enthusiasm of the new, shouting to the heavens with happiness for whatever you are excited or grateful or ready for now, beautiful Pisces. If you want to claim this in the comments below, let us know. I'd love to hear. Aquarius, Aquarius. Did you notice I sped that up a little bit for you, Aquarius? I love singing that. This is the dawning of song for you, though. I don't know why. It's your song. And this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, beautiful Aquarius. Are you ready? Are you in it? Are you enjoying it? The new moon in Sag says, let us celebrate. It's a celebratory energy. It's happening in your 11th house, this new moon, a brand new beginning in the house of the world is your oyster. What would fulfill you now? What does your heart want? What is your new dream if you have a new dream? What are you celebrating? What would you, how do you feel about your friendships? Because new moons are reflection times. New moons are where we're surveying our life, or especially this area of our life, and we're saying, is there anything new or different that I want, anything I want to change about this? So friendships, community, support, online groups, or an online presence, social media platforms, online dating for some of you, any meetups, any thing that you do regularly, especially with others, or maybe you're going to do it during the first time. Maybe you're going to do it for the first time after this new moon. And that can be like, okay, I want to start going to this regular book club, for example. Or if you have a farmer's market, I'm going to start going to the farmer's market weekly. Or maybe you have a spiritual group. Maybe it's a church that you want to go to. Or you're branding something, you're promoting something, you're starting a business, you're getting a message out, you're doing a podcast. This house also is connected to long-term financial gain. So you could be focused on investments. Whatever it is, it's the house of feeling supported. However you get that support, this new moon is really encouraging that, Aquarius. And for whatever reason, I keep getting this image of a telescope when I talk about the 11th house lately. And so I see that. I see people looking through a telescope. And yes, you could be looking at stars. That's usually what we look at through telescopes, right? But you could also be, doing that, looking at a map or looking at the globe and saying, where do I want to go? Where do I want to travel? You could be feeling that adventurous energy, especially during this new moon. Sag energy is the seeker. It's the quest. It's the spiritual desire to expand. So those themes could come up for you as well. Aquarius, I want to pull a card for you and see what the cards have to say. If there's an additional message for you, there always is. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for taking a moment to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Thank you for supporting the channel. It means the world to me, and I wouldn't be here without you. So let us see what the cards have for you, beautiful Aquarius. Your card is... There's a journey going on here. Great adventure. Take a risk. Venture forward. This is such a yes, right? I mean, how else can we interpret this card except that you are meant to go on a great adventure? What is the next adventure of your life? What are you being called to? I mean, it's so clear. Take a risk. Venture forward. What risk would you have to take, Aquarius, to move forward? If you want to leave us a comment letting us know, or you just want to claim your great adventure, or you want to say, yeah, I got my yes from this card, let us know in the comments below. You will inspire all of us. Capricorn. Hello, beautiful Capricorn. Somebody said to me, why don't you sing Capricorn like you sing some of the other sign names? And I'll be honest, I don't like the way I sound when I sing Capricorn. I have tried it so many different ways and it just doesn't come out the way I want it to. So we'll see. It's all a dance in progress. We shall see, Capricorn, but it is not because I don't love you as much as all the other signs. Happy birthday to those of you who have birthdays around this new moon time. We're about to go into your season just after this new moon, which really portends a lovely new beginning for you. Basically, we're starting your season with a new moon. As soon as this new moon is over in Sag, the sun will, shortly after, the sun will move into your sign, Capricorn, which is very auspicious, I think. And the question is, because this new moon is happening for you in Sagittarius in your 12th house, that's the house of the esoteric realms. That's the other realms. That is, it's not of this world. It's a new moon that is saying, it's preparing you. I've been saying in this video that this new moon is preparing us for a new world, really, a new, greatly shifting energy in 2026. Been talking about why that is in a lot of my videos, but I'll just briefly say it is Uranus moving to Gemini to stay. It is Saturn and Neptune moving in. Of course, Saturn is a shorter cycle, but Neptune moving into Aries to stay. Both of those are very long transits, and Pluto in Aquarius is still in the early degrees too. So we are being set up by these planetary changes, and then the great conjunction that will happen between Saturn and Neptune, a very significant conjunction. I will say more about that in a future video. But this is why 2026 is such a turning point year. So the 12th house shows us if we have anything in our subconscious that needs processing. It tells us what our inner narrative is if we're paying attention to that, if we're listening, if we are thinking empowering thoughts or not. And a lot of us think both, right? I mean, we are human after all. But it shows us where there's self-doubt. It shows us where there's excitement and where we connect to the divine and we get those downloads and we get the magical moments and synchronicities. What I love about this house is it can bring us wonderful messages in our dreams. It can take us on soaring astral travel experiences. I know those are much more uncommon and rare even, but we can get messages from the divine in so many different ways. And a new moon here and a manifestational cycle here could have you thinking about your spiritual practice. It could be have you thinking about, I need a spiritual practice if you don't already have one. You could be starting a new way of connecting to the divine, such as guided meditation or sitting meditation or automatic writing. I call it writing to spirit in my book, The Magic of Saying Yes. That's linked below if that interests you. Anything that will deepen your divine connection, raise your vibrational frequency, help you to get into the vortex, as Abraham Hicks says, to co-create with the divine. The 12th house is very co-creative. It is like the root of our connection to spirit. In Capricorn, you are no stranger to work. You're ruled by Saturn. Most of you love work. You love being productive. So this new moon is saying, channel that productivity, that strong Saturn energy, channel it into your 12th house co-creations, your connection with spirit, and or reprogramming the subconscious mind, clearing out maybe a belief, because Sag is very tied to our beliefs, a belief that isn't serving you. Or maybe you become aware of what that belief might be during this new moon. We're meant to feel uplifted during a Sag new moon. I would be asking the divine, bring me a breakthrough, send me a message in my dreams, help me to connect with something ethereal. Because when we have those ethereal moments, there is, in my own experience, and I have a lot of 12th house energy in my natal chart, there is nothing better in my mind and my experience of life than having one of those magical moments that reminds us that we are not from here, we are not of the earth, we are magical, co-creative, spiritual beings having this human adventure. So that would be my wish for you, Capricorn, if that resonates for you, to have that one of those moments of transcendence or magical synchronicity or connection to spirit that really brings you even more alive. So I'm going to pull a card for you. If you would take a moment to tap like, to subscribe if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it. Let's see what the cards have for you. Capricorn, your card is yes, yes, yes. Answering the call. That is the subtitle of my book, pretty much. Answering Your Heart's True Calling is my subtitle, but answering the call. The time is now. Check it out. What is calling you? What? I know I sound so Saturn right now. Capricorn, by the way, I have Saturn in Capricorn, if you didn't notice. I can get a little bit bossy, I know. But it comes from my passion and enthusiasm for answering the call, because your soul is calling you. Do you know your soul is calling you? Can you feel it? Are you ready to walk through this portal? She's all dressed in her goddess wear, right? She's all dressed in that. She has taken on the identity of her spiritual beingness. She's taken on the identity of the goddess. Sometimes that helps to do that. We don't usually make those changes that we need to make that will be very significant in our lives, that will bring us a new chapter. We don't usually make those until we shift our identity to a new, to match and the new soul essence of us that's coming online. But the time is now. And if you don't know where to start, and truly, I do not make money from my books. I mean, I make hardly anything. So this is not about that. I love sharing with you the tools that I use to find my own passion, to answer my own calling. And I do that in my book. And that's why I so passionately talk about it with you guys, because I want anyone else to receive that support if that's what you need in your life right now. Regardless, beautiful Capricorn, your heart is calling you. This card is saying to answer the call, whatever may feel scary to you. It may feel like, I don't know if I can succeed at this, but it's intriguing to me, or it's lighting me up to think about. That is your soul calling to you. Happy Sag new moon. My beautiful friend, thank you so much for hanging out with me for the Sagittarius new moon, the very last new moon of 2025, preparing us for a brand new, exciting, and very life-shifting year of 2026. If you would like more support, if you would like to do an astrology consultation with me, go to my website, check out my offerings. I am offering now my 2026 year ahead readings. I go through month by month through every significant astrology transit for you, including the eclipses. We have 2 eclipse seasons. We go through all of those, how they will activate you in your natal astrology chart. So you will get a comprehensive overview. You'll get a recording. You will receive what you truly need to know, plus my intuitive downloads that I get while I'm doing your reading or during my preparation. And if other readings call to you, natal chart, relationship harmony, life purpose, heart's desire, whatever calls to you, go to my website, check out the testimonials that other clients have shared after working with me, and that should give you a sense of whether you want to book. I also offer clarity coaching sessions, and I have a free gift for you. That free gift, you can get it when you sign up for free to my weekly inspirational astrology updates. So if you'd like to get those weekly pep talks, as one of my friends calls them, direct to your inbox, go to my website, sign up for free, and you will get my free instant download at the same time, which is a soothing guided meditation that will connect you to your divine guidance, to your spiritual, loving angels and guides, to a message that your guides want to give you. If you'd like to get that, go to my website, subscribe to my updates. You'll get that free gift at the same time. And if you'd like to leave a comment about whatever you're feeling, sensing, or experiencing around this Sag new moon time or before, please feel free to do so. I love reading your comments. And until my next video, I am sending you all my love.